everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something that was really highly requested, and it is how to prevent your foundation from sliding off your nose. This is gonna be kind of like a quick hack slash tip video. It's going to be really short. I'm sorry about that, but I'm about to go into exams, so I don't really have the time to, film something super elaborate. But I did want to get something up for you guys, and a lot of my followers had messaged me saying this is such a big problem for them, and they've tried so many different products to try and get their foundation to not slide off their nose, and this is the only way that I've found has worked for me. So I'm really happy to share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. Again, I apologize that it's so short. It might be short for the next couple of weeks until I get out of exams, but after that I might even increase my upload schedule. We'll see. Just a disclaimer, this tip is not something I use every day. It's something that would probably be best suited for an event or something that you really need your makeup to stay on. It's kind of a lot of steps, so it's going to be kind of a lot for an everyday wear. But one thing I really found this helpful for is when I wear my glasses. When I wear my glasses, around here gets like extra oily, and I just don't even wear makeup when I wear glasses anymore, just because it's gonna slide off in like an hour. So I found this tip is very helpful for when I wear my glasses, and I've also found it very helpful for any event where I need my makeup to stay put all day. Oh, also I wanted to say before I go, this doesn't just have to be used for your nose. This could be used if you have a super oily T-zone, anything like that. I do have oily skin, but I find that my nose is the oiliest. That's why I use it specifically on my nose, but if you have super oily skin, you could really use this anywhere. I just wanted to say that because some of my followers also say that they have oily skin and they have this issue, but like all over their face. So yeah, you can totally, pick and choose where to use this technique. It doesn't have to be your nose, but I just find that my nose is my problem area, as well as I've noticed it's a lot of other people's. Okay, so now I'm done talking. Let's get into the video. Okay, so what you are going to need for this technique are a few things that if you are already a makeup wearer, you probably have. First thing you're gonna need is a translucent powder, preferably one that isn't supposed to be glowy. I'm using the Mercier translucent setting powder, but not the glow version. Really, any matte translucent powder will do. The second product you're gonna need is a longwear concealer. My personal favorite is Tarte Shape Tape. I find this one works by far the best. Another good one that I enjoy is the Kat Von D Lock-It concealer. Everything else just kind of slides around, so I would definitely recommend going for the Shape Tape if you can. You're also going to need a primer, preferably a mattifying one. This is the one that I prefer to use, the Pop Beauty Zero Shine Prime. This one is available at the drugstore, and I find that it works really well. So you're also going to need a damp sponge. I find this is what applies all of these products the best. And then the last thing you're gonna need is your foundation of choice. I prefer like a matte one because I'm really oily everywhere, not just my nose. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but my cat's digging in his litter box and decides to make so much noise. Rude. The foundation that I've been using lately is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I'm not 100% sold on this yet, but I'm still trying to get a feel for it, so that's why I'm using it today. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you're actually gonna go for is the translucent powder. Now I know Freddie. I knew that was coming. Fred, come on.
2,000 years later.
It's kind of weird, but the first thing you're going to go in with is the translucent powder. And the reason for that is because if you set with translucent powder, sure, that's going to mattify whatever foundation or concealer you have. However, by the time you get oily, your oils are going to reach the foundation before they reach the layer of powder. So powdering on top of any products you apply isn't exactly the best oil control method, because the oils are able to break up the foundation before they actually reach that top layer of powder. So I'm going to use my translucent powder first. So I'm going to dip my damp sponge into the translucent powder, and I'm just going to apply it a generous amount to my nose. This is quite a few steps. This isn't something that I do every day, just because honestly I don't care if my nose wears off. if it's just like a normal day, but like say it's your wedding day or it's your prom or you have an interview, you know, anything that's a special occasion, you are not going to really want your nose to smudge, so you may as well just take this extra step. But again, I totally understand if like this isn't your everyday thing, because it's really not mine either. So now this base layer of powder is going to be able to absorb the oils that may arise throughout the day. Next, I'm going to use a tiny bit of the Pop Zero Shine Prime. Oh, exploded on me. There's such a stigma about applying creams on top of powders. You know, as long as you use the powder sparingly, I don't really think it's a big deal. So I'm just taking like a tiny bit on my finger, and I'm just going to apply it to the nose area. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna apply the primer everywhere that I normally prime, but I'm only using this technique on my nose. But I took too much primer, so I'm just like, I'll just apply it everywhere that I would like to prime. So then I'm gonna take some more translucent powder, just a little bit, and I'm just going to set the primer. Wow, that was way too much. Whoops. And I like to use a damp beauty sponge because I find that it's really easy to press the product into the skin and really get that oil control that I personally need. The first time I saw anyone do this, it was Jackie Aina. She sets her primer. I love Jackie Aina. Jackie. She's honestly my favorite, and she sets her primer and her skin is just so gorgeous. Like, oh, just so flawless. So that's where I got this technique from, this setting of the primer. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape, and I swear this concealer is like bomb-proof. I don't understand. It's just so good. And I'm just going to take it and apply it on the nose. I mean, that's a fairly generous amount for such a small area. You could, you know, not waste product like I just did, but up to you. And I'm just going to blend this in. And some days, if I actually need to be out the door quickly and still want my nose to stay on for a while, I will just prime it with Shape Tape and head out the door. I'll use it under my foundation anyways. I won't just like leave the house like this. That would be scary. And now that the Shape Tape is down, I don't take another layer of powder. You probably could. I've never tried it that way, but I just personally don't because I don't find it's necessary. I don't want to add any extra layers that aren't going to make a difference, because then that could just mean cakiness, which is not a good look for anybody. So now that this is all blended in, I am going to take my foundation and just apply it as I normally would. Initially for this idea, I got it from the video where James Charles does Tate's like wedding makeup trial. He primed her nose with something and I couldn't figure out what it was, but he was like, yeah, this is like a bomb-proof product and you just prime and put foundation over top of it. And I was like, wow, that's genius. I bet you my chart, I almost called Tarte chart. What I meant to say was, then I thought my Tarte Shape Tape would probably do that same thing, because I couldn't find what product he was using, or it wasn't available in Canada or something like that, because I too have this issue of my nose just moving around everywhere. And you are gonna have to kind of be light when you put this foundation on, or else you're gonna peel off the layers that you just applied. So do be careful when you're, you know, patting your foundation into your nose. You may have to go over it a few times. Also, if you're gonna do this technique, you wanna make sure that you exfoliate your nose area before you actually do it, because I find that if there's any dry skin or texture on the nose, this technique will really grab at it. And again, you can totally use whatever foundation works for you. I'm kind of regretting using this foundation for this video because it's kind of making my nose cake up, but I know that it does that without this technique anyways, so I don't know why I chose to use this foundation, but just use like your favorite foundation. That's what I usually do on a day-to-day basis. This is just what I'm testing right now, and honestly I don't think I like it as much as I did when I first tried it. I just find that it kind of emphasizes any texture that I have, and like I don't really have crazy textured skin, but this foundation kind of makes it look like I do, so I don't know. I'm still unsure about it, but I'm kind of leaning towards not liking it. And then I'm just going to finish up any other cream products I want to add on my face, such as cream contour, concealer under my eyes, etc., and I'll be right back for the final step. Okay, so now I've applied my concealer, and the only step left is to finally add that last layer of powder, just so things don't like smudge around and stuff. So again, just lightly applying a layer of powder on the nose. I'm also going to do my under eyes because I need to. Okay, so now I am finished my entire face and my nose looks pretty good. I did add a little bit of nose highlight, that's why it's a little bit shiny on the end there. But I'll zoom you in so you can see my nose. I don't know, that sounds kind of weird, but... So this is what it looks like. It's just a great way to have a very blank canvas and a nice matte surface to work with. So I was easily able to contour and highlight my nose as I wish, and I'm fairly confident that it won't move around throughout the day. As I said earlier, this isn't really something that I do every day. If you're looking for like a quick everyday fix, I would just say just do the powder and then the Shape Tape on top and then your foundation and you'd be good to go. It probably won't last as long, but it is a lot faster than powder, prime, powder, Shape Tape. You know, like it's just a lot of steps. But with such an oily area, that's really the only way that you're gonna get a foundation or cream product to really adhere to the area. So I hope this tip helps you just a little bit and kind of gives you some insight as to what can possibly be done to control oils on your nose. A lot of my followers had messaged me being like, oh, you know, I've tried every primer, every foundation, and it's not really necessarily about that. It's more so about the techniques that you use. So I hope this small tip was helpful for you. Sorry it was such a short video this week. I'm not sure if it'll be the same next week. I guess we'll see. But I just wanted to get something up and I had a lot of requests for it. Anyways, now I'm rambling. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.